Hello, I'm Sarah Combs, Public Health Nutritionist with the Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction's School Nutrition Team, and this is What's the Scoop on Portion Control. The goals for today's lesson are to increase your understanding of portion control and portion sizes, provide a review of menu planning and USDA requirements, assist participants in recognizing which serving utensils control portions and which do not, and help us to understand the effect of proper portion control on nutrient content. There are many reasons to use proper portion control when preparing and serving food. The most important reasons for portion control are customer satisfaction, serving reimbursable meals, and controlling food costs. Portion control helps with customer satisfaction because students eat with their eyes. They compare the portion on each other's plates, so if one student receives a larger portion of fries, for example, the student that receives a smaller portion will not feel valued. Portion control ensures that customers receive equal amounts of food, use standardized recipes, and reduce complaints from students by offering uniform portion sizes and reducing the chances of running out of food toward the end of the serving period. Proper portion control also ensures that a reimbursable meal is served. It guarantees that students receive the planned quantity of food, such as 2 grains breads, or nutrients, such as proper percent of calories from fat, saturated fat, trans fat, or milligrams of sodium. USDA meal requirements also make certain that children of different ages get the adequate amount of nutrients needed at lunch and breakfast. Food costs are controlled with portioning by minimizing waste. Portion sizes that are too large can sometimes discourage younger children from eating. It reduces the number of leftovers and the need for substitutions and makes it easier to forecast and calculate the quantity of food to purchase. Menu planning. Menus should be planned first to meet USDA requirements. The portion sizes specified for each food helps to determine if these requirements are met. Refer to the school breakfast and school lunch meal patterns and to the grains bread chart to make certain that components are met for each grade group. Meals served must also meet specific nutrient standards for breakfast and lunch, and portion sizes may need to be adjusted to meet these targets. Production records. It's important that food production records includes the portion size and the number of planned servings specified. If portion sizes vary by grade, this should also be recorded. Requirements will vary by age, so younger students may need less to meet the requirements than older students. The amount stated on the production record is the amount required to be counted as a component. For example, if the production record specifies 5 each for chicken nuggets and the child only takes 3, that cannot be counted as a component. This is not a problem if your school has offer versus serve, but it does mean they would need to take the other items. For self-serve fruits and vegetables or salad bars, put up signs telling students the portion size they need to take to count. Put the appropriate portion control tools out for them to use or pre-portion items into cups. The person at the end of the line will also need to know what the portions are so they can see if the student is taking enough. Obviously, if a student only took 2 peas, that would not count as a component. Generally, we encourage students to take more fruits and vegetables, but if cost is a factor, you would want to monitor this. Another important part of portion control is the use of standardized recipes for food production. A good standardized recipe will include the exact amount of ingredients to use for the number of planned servings. The serving size should be written on the recipe. Weigh and measure carefully for consistent yields, which, as we mentioned previously, helps with customer satisfaction and ensures components and nutrients are met. Purchasing is based on the planned portion size and the planned number of servings. Refer to the food buying guide for number of purchase units requested. Child nutrition, or CN labels, on some purchased foods will indicate how much of each component is included per serving, if food-based plans are followed. A portion control tool is a serving utensil that measures the amount of food. Examples of tools that portion are slicers. Slicers are used for cutting consistent thicknesses. Slicers measure the thickness of a slice of food products. Scales are also used to determine the weight of a portion. Scoops and spoodles measure different serving sizes and are numbered to differentiate the size, such as number 8, half cup, number 16, 1/4 cup, etc. We use these to serve foods like fruits, mashed potatoes, rice, and so on. Ladles are also used for liquid-type servings of soups, gravies, sauces, stews, and creamed foods. Slotted, pierced, or perforated spoodles are important for serving foods that are prepared in liquid that you don't want to add to the portion. Examples are green beans, corn, peas, and stewed fruits. Measuring cups are used for measuring liquid and dry goods. The metal cups are used for measuring dry goods, and the glass are used for measuring liquids. If a tool does not measure, it is not a portioning tool. Examples, tongs and turners are not portion control tools, and remember that a pinch or a handful is not a measurement. When talking about portion, it is important to identify the difference between fluid ounces and ounces. Fluid ounces are a measure of volume. A volume refers to a space, not a weight. The ounces that measure weight are just called ounces. So when you see the word ounce, it is referring to an ounce of weight, and when you see the words fluid ounce, it refers to a measure of volume. There are times when fluid ounces and ounces are the same. However, it is just a coincidence. Few foods are the same, not even water. 1 cup of water, by definition, holds 8 fluid ounces, but 1 cup of water actually weighs 8.3 ounces. Let's use popcorn as another example. This bag contains about 3 ounces of popcorn, and this bag holds the same amount of popcorn that would fit into a 3-ounce spoodle, which is the equivalent to 3/8 cup. You can see that 3/8 cup of popcorn is not the same as 3 ounces of popcorn. There is a pretty significant calorie difference between the two as well. 3/8 of a cup of plain popcorn has approximately 9 calories, while 3 ounces of plain popcorn has about 220 calories. So you can see that incorrectly listing your serving sizes can have a big impact on the results of your nutrient analysis. For that reason, we suggest that you do not use ounces on your production records unless you are actually weighing out portions. In most cases, serving size should be listed in measurements of volume, such as cups or tablespoons. You could also record your serving sizes by the scoop size you are using or fluid ounces. For example, a 2-ounce spoodle serves a 1/4 cup, so you could either list the portion size as 2-ounce spoodle, 2 fluid ounces, or as a 1/4 cup. Here are a few tips to help you control portions. Portion bulk food items according to the number of servings that come from a bulk package. For example, a number 10 can of sliced peaches can be portioned into approximately 25 half-cup souffle cups or 4-ounce styrofoam bowls. Standardized recipes that have been tested in your kitchen. These tested recipes will give you a specific number of servings. Once a specific or standard number of servings are determined, it will be easier to calculate the cost of each serving size. The cost of any particular item will be proportional to the quantity served. If funding is available, and if possible, purchase prepackaged foods such as low-fat or no-fat salad dressings and other low-sodium condiments such as ketchup, or soy sauce, rather than allowing students to serve themselves from large containers. There is often very little control over the amount students will take when allowed to serve themselves from large containers. For a food like fruited Jell-O, try pre-portioning a serving of fruit into a souffle cup and pour the Jell-O on top. This will ensure that everyone receives a serving of fruit. You could also purchase bulk juice and milk and portion it out for the students. You'll just want to make sure that the cup you're using to portion the item is big enough to hold a serving. As you can see with this one, there's not a lot of room at the top, which could lead to spillage. Whether you use plastic or glass cups that can be run through the dishwasher or styrofoam paper cups, you will want to run a comparison of all costs involved, including labor and/or increased trash. It is essential to use the correct serving tools and utensils. Let's take a closer look at these tools. Another important aspect of portion control is using the tools correctly. The correct way to portion food is to use a level scoop. This means that the item is served as planned. When the scoop is heaping, it provides excess calories and nutrients. It increases the food cost because you will require more food to serve the same number of students, and it can lead to food shortages. Conversely, a scant scoop may not meet meal pattern requirements and lead to increased waste. Let's go through an example of how portions can affect food costs. For this example, a chef's salad recipe calls for 1 ounce of cheese and 1 ounce of lean ham. During preparation, the salad maker used the wrong measuring scale to weigh the ham and gave 1 ounce of cheese and 2 ounces of ham. If the ham was $2.73 per pound, what would the cost of the ham be in each scenario? I encourage you to pause the recording and attempt to work out this scenario now. The steps we would take to figure this out are as follows. We know that there are 16 ounces per pound, so if we take the per pound price of $2.73 and divide it by 16 ounces, we would get 17 cents per ounce. Since the correct portion requires 1 ounce, the correct serving of ham would cost 17 cents per serving, and the incorrect serving of ham would double and cost 34 cents per serving. Remember, during preparation, the salad maker used the incorrect scale and gave 2 ounces of ham rather than 1 ounce. If 800 chef salads must be made, using the cost per ounce calculated previously, how much would 800 salads cost using 1 ounce of ham? How much would it cost using 2 ounces of ham? Again, please pause the recording now and figure out the cost of each. You should have calculated 1 ounce at $136, and we figure this out by multiplying 17 cents by 800 chef salads. For 2 ounces, we multiplied 34 cents by 800 chef salads and got a cost of $272. If a mistake like this was made 5 days a week for 9 months or 36 weeks, approximately how much additional cost would this be for the school year? So if we take 5 days a week times 36 weeks per year times $136, that's $24,480. So this is a pretty crazy example, but think about it. This is only one school in a district. What if this mistake was occurring in more than one school? Do the numbers. Now let's take a look at a recipe and see how incorrect portions can lead to food shortages. Using the USDA recipe of macaroni and cheese for 100 servings, the portion size indicated is 2/3 cup or a number 6 scoop, and it yields 4 gallons for a total quantity of product. What would happen if the servers gave everyone a larger serving? If the server rounds the scoop to serve 3/4 cup, then there will be a shortage of more than 13 servings from the original 2/3 cup measure that was planned. The calculation, we know that there are 16 cups per gallon, and the recipe makes 4 gallons, so we would multiply 16 cups by 4 gallons to equal 64 cups. We can then divide 64 cups by 0.75 or 3/4 and get 85.333 3/4 cup servings. So in conclusion, portion control is important to the overall success of a food service program. One way to control costs in today's school meal programs is to control portion sizes. Nutrients per serving can also be negatively impacted when portions are not controlled. Calories, fat, and sodium can be significantly affected and put our students at risk of childhood obesity, diabetes, high blood pressure, and other such diseases. And finally, keeping our customers happy and satisfied is key to maintaining and improving student meal participation, which is our overall goal. There are many resources available to help you with portion control at your school. The National Food Service Management has a Basics at a Glance poster with recipe abbreviations, equivalent volumes, and weights, scoop sizes, pan size, capacity charts, cutting diagrams for portioning, and metric equivalents that you can hang in your kitchen. This poster can be ordered free of charge by contacting the NFSMI at 1-800-321-3054 or at the web address featured here. For even more information, check out the links featured here, including the DPI website. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, please email me at sarah.combs@dpi.wi.gov.